don't look at the stranger's eyes. My girlfriend, Louisa, reminded me as she dozed off after a brief yawn beside me, leaving me with a confused face. I tried waking her up, to no avail, to inquire of that ominous warning, but I just shrugged it off as one of the many superstitions rural folks like to pass on to people to play with their heads. What can I say? It is still practiced here in the Philippines, especially by the old. It's a late afternoon. We are on our way to the far north of the city to visit Louisa's folks. She suggested the trip as a change of scenery, for I am the typical city boy who does nothing all day but dwell on the internet or visit malls. We are riding a somewhat crowded and old but smooth riding bus. We placed ourselves on the right side, 3 rows behind the entrance. All the seats, they're in 2s. Louisa claimed the window seat, in which I quickly slid the somewhat dusty drapes covering it to the sides, revealing the view behind a huge glass pane. Several people who were not lucky enough to get a seat were allowed to crowd the middle walkway, sometimes hitting my left arm. I swear, if the whole bus is not air-conditioned, it'd be one hell of an uncomfortable ride. We passed the transition of the usual grey concrete of the city to a vast green field where you'll observe several farm animals freely roaming. Some of them sleeping, some eating grass. You could almost smell the fresh air emanating behind the glass, making me want to act like a typical dog that enjoys the breeze of an open window. 30 minutes passed. The driver soon announced that we are nearing the first stop. We still have a long way to go. That was my cue to fetch my headphones from my side pocket and listen to a random playlist on Spotify. After 2 hours, finally, we reach the 5th stop, where most people alight. No more crowded walkways, finally. I removed my headphones, just in case people hit it on their departure, and not surprising, a lot of people bumped my left arm, eventually leaving a red mark. A few minutes passed. The driver soon announced that the bus will begin to leave soon. I could see the sun setting right beside me. I took a quick glimpse toward Louisa to see her still soundly asleep. I really envy her ability to just sleep in these uncomfortable positions. Not to mention, she doesn't even have a neck pillow or anything. The engine soon started, then the sliding doors slowly began to shut. But someone, suddenly, blocked the sliding doors, halting its mechanism. I heard a faint clang of what seemed to be glass bottles hitting each other. Good thing, the driver reacted just in time. "Ma'am, you need to be more careful," the driver said with a deep and raucous voice, facing the elderly lady with a worried look. "Sorry, sir. I did not notice the bus was leaving already." The elderly woman weakly replied, then smiled at the driver. "It's okay, ma'am," the driver quickly replied, whilst assisting her ascend. Looking around, many people are glancing towards the commotion. The elderly woman, she is wearing a typical old duster, a thin dress woven from random colourful patterns, with short, grey hair neatly tied up with a clip. She is carrying a basket. Held inside are several bottles, holding a variety of coloured liquids laid in hay. She may have come from the wet market. She stood in a poor posture as she takes a quick look at the rows of the bus, in hopes of finding an empty seat, I suppose. A young male soon signalled the old lady that a seat was now made available, having offered it a few rows back from where we are, on the other side. The old lady smiled, with a face full of gratitude. As she passed through, a strong and familiar scent had sprayed the walkway. It is the smell of the flower Sampaguita. These are white flowers, often sold in churches, since it was believed it strengthens the power of holy idols to protect your respective homes. Some street children, they sometimes sell it on the road, knocking on random cars in the hopes to sell it for some pesos. It might be coming from the bottles, I thought. I took the opportunity to take a closer look at them, squinting out of curiosity. I might have imagined it, but I thought I saw a faint, small glowing white contained on each of the bottles, which some are frantically bouncing around inside, and some just look like they are sinking in a vicious liquid. My curiosity piqued. My glance followed the old lady's quest to reach her seat, hoping to get another chance to look at those bottles. I saw the young man who offered his place assist the old lady to be seated. He even held her hand to support her weak frame. But something is a little bit weird in the way he moves. He seems to be trying his best to look away from the lady, swinging his head in the opposite direction, almost twitching in every movement he aims to make. It is as if he really does not want to meet face to face. The lady seemed to not mind it. She soon was seated. When she was on the verge of thanking him, gestures of nodding and a weak smile, the guy just dashed towards near the bus doors, face down, to stand in the middle of the walkway. I could not make out if something had scared him, since it seems he shows sign of faint trembling and somehow sweating profusely. He stood overly firm, with a very tight grip towards a metal bar to support his balance. It's very clear he did not want to look back. To add to this peculiarity, I just realized that two-seater, it had an empty space, meaning he didn't even need to offer his seat. On my observation, trying to make sense of it all, I too met the eyes of the old lady. She gave me a weak smile. I quivered. I did not know why, but that sight, it just caught me off guard. I quickly halted my stalking, and weirdly enough, on my motion to turn around, I saw the people near her looking at the opposite side, trying their best to not see her. Somehow, also shaking a little, as if there's some kind of threat nearby. I just shrugged it off. Must be nothing. How could it be? I reached for my headset once more, to go back to what I was doing before the stop. As I pressed play, I ripped my headset off. A very loud screech had greeted my ears. I guess my headset must be broken. I might have not noticed it, being trampled from the hasting descent of the passengers earlier. But that can't be, since I know that I removed it. I restarted the Spotify app as well as my phone. Might just be a glitch, I thought. Whilst the phone is booting up, I began feeling like I'm being watched. Not only that, but being watched with a certain degree of animosity being targeted towards me. And the source is coming from the back. I do not know why, but it was just instinct to blame that old lady. I intend to find out, but this time I was careful. I do not want her to see me. Slowly, I took a peek, covered by the leathery bus seat, just revealing a side of my face, making an effort to point both my iris on the left side. The old lady, she is not there anymore. In my shock, I turned around completely to locate the old lady in the whole bus. Then suddenly, the bus stopped out of nowhere, making me hit the front seat with enough force to make me dizzy. I supported my head with my right hand to remedy the dizziness. I lifted myself up, only to find myself in an empty bus in the middle of blackness. The bus's internal lights were flickering, as if they were damaged. All the leather seats, they were worn out, some even ripped. The middle walkway, it is scattered with broken glass, layered with rust. Most windows were cracked open, if not scratched by unidentified claw marks. And somehow, the bus has no door. What happened to everyone? Where am I? What happened to Louisa? I began to panic. This wasn't the same bus. It seems all my belongings are not here anymore. No cell phone, not even the headset that I was holding a few seconds ago. I am walking back and forth, just trying to think, trying to make sense of my situation. I am still wearing the same clothes before the sudden stop. Was I drugged and then kidnapped? My mind, it began to slowly crack. I may be dreaming. Yeah, that's right. I might have just dozed off in the bus. This is all just a dream. I said this to myself over and over, trying to keep hold of my sanity. I tried peeking out from one of the open windows, only to find an endless sea of darkness. There's nothing even in there. It's just black. Not even a road, trees, nor the sky, clouds and moon. It's like I'm trapped in some kind of void in which my remaining light is in this worn-out bus. That just made me crazier, almost beginning to hyperventilate now. I decided to pause a second, catch my breath, breathe, trying just to calm down. I pondered on my options. I did consider jumping out that window, but I can't see anything at all outside. I might be perched on a random cliff somewhere. The fear of falling to my death, it consumed me. I looked everywhere, to no avail. I tried throwing broken glass downwards from the open windows, just to test if I could hear it break. Nothing. I tried several times. Still, nothing. I even scraped one of my fingers in that fiasco with a bit of blood dripping down towards my pants. I soon laid on the rusty floor, in utter defeat, feeling drained. I think this place, whatever it is sucking the absolute life out of me. Suddenly, fog enveloped the insides of the bus. It seems it went inside through the open windows. The lights flickered fast and eventually shorted out. Everything just became black. I quickly got on my feet in reaction, eventually hearing a faint voice in the darkness. I cannot make out what it is saying. I just stood firm, right where I was, expecting to be attacked. Out of nowhere, a small light shone a few meters away in front of me. I think that faint voice is coming from that light. I began to walk towards it slowly. As I progressed, the voice, it becomes louder, clearer, more familiar. Wake up, wake up, wake up. Louisa? I thought. I started to dash towards the light, reaching out to it, desperately clinging to the hope to be saved, only to be blinded suddenly with absolute brightness. In that brief moment, I was taken back. I squinted. I saw a glimpse of a familiar old lady, now with long, unkempt hair, reaching out to me with her dirty, earthy hands, as if she was trying to desperately grab me back. I can feel the light shining brighter every second. I lost consciousness soon after. I began to open my eyes. I was greeted by Louisa's grieving face. She was crying, right there beside me, sitting on a wooden chair. I could feel a small drop of tears caressing my cheeks. Her face lit up in reaction to me waking. She hugged me, and soon after she said, "You dummy, I thought I lost you. You were becoming so pale. When that other man died, She cut off, trying to catch her breath from her whimpering. I was speechless, frozen in place. I must have mustered what strength I had left to look around and get a feel of where I am. I seemed to be lying on a wooden bed under a roof of straw, leaves and wood. As I peeked at the sides, I saw several potteries and lit candles on top of wooden furnitures, in which I later knew that these candles surrounded me. A man soon appeared, wearing some kind of white robe and a big beaded wooden necklace, holding a wooden cross that almost reached his stomach. He approached us, coming from another room, only separated by hanging, colourful beads. "I'm glad that at least one of you made it," he said.